If you're thinking about relocating to Utah, today I'm talking about the things my clients talk about the most when they're looking at houses here in Utah compared to where they are relocating from. I help a lot of people relocate from all over the United States, even some outside of the United States. And this list are the things to help you be prepared when you show up here of what to expect in houses. And the number one thing is actually like every single person comments on it. Not a single person misses it. So let's jump into this list. So I'm going to save the number one commented thing for last. So let's start out with number 6 on the list. And now these are in no particular order except for the number one thing. But number 6 on the list is lots of LVP flooring, luxury vinyl planking, laminate style flooring. You see it all over in Utah, in bathrooms, main floors, bedrooms, all over the place. And I've had people, especially from Arizona, that are relocating where they're used to more tile floors. We don't really do that in Utah. Not a lot of carpet like you kind of see in California, more carpet and tile as well. In Utah, be prepared for the LVP flooring. Number 5 is small yards. So Utah has grown tremendously since COVID, especially. And so we're running out of space in these metro areas of like Salt Lake County, Davis County. And so homes are getting smaller and the lots are getting smaller. So builders can fit more houses in and make more money, to be honest. So it is not unusual to have small little yards where you feel like you can hand something out your window to your next door neighbor and have the minimum setbacks that are required between houses, which in most areas is 3 feet from your property line. So you're talking maybe 6 feet between houses. So be prepared for that. You're not going to have these big sprawling yards on quarter acres. It's just not as common anymore, especially with new construction. Now, if you get an established home in older neighborhoods that aren't built from about 2020 on, then you are more likely to find those nice yards, mature trees, all of that. But generally speaking, in Utah, most yards, even a bigger size yard, is about 1/4 of an acre. You do sometimes find like half acres or 1/3 of an acres on more luxury style, higher priced homes. But for most buyers relocating to Utah, you're really about 0.08 to about 0.17 if you're lucky for acreage. Okay, number 4 on the list is it's not super common for houses to have pools in their backyard, a private pool for their own single family house. Now, as more people have relocated to Utah over the last 5-6 years, you're seeing it more often than you did before, but it's still not super common, especially given what I just said about the smaller yards. A lot of those single family homes that are newer construction, they don't even have the room to put a pool. But it is something that people always comment on, whether they're moving from the West Coast, the East Coast, or down south. I don't hear about it too much from people from the Midwest or northern part of the US. However, most other places always comment and want a pool. It is more common to have an HOA style pool in communities like Daybreak out in South Jordan, The Wander down in Saratoga Springs, those HOA type communities that have pools. Number 3, fireplaces in Utah are generally gas fireplaces, not wood burning. And that is because of air quality and burn restrictions. So if you are looking in a more established neighborhood with houses built in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 70s, 80s, even maybe the 90s, you can find wood burning, but a lot of them do get converted to gas just because of those burn restrictions. New construction homes, the last probably 15, 20 years, they're all putting in gas fireplaces, no wood burning fireplaces. Now, this is for Salt Lake County and the Wasatch Front, Utah County, Davis County. If you're looking more rural areas or St. George or anything like that, it may be different. In rural areas like central Utah, it's definitely different. I'm not super familiar with the St. George market to comment on that. But I'm just talking Wasatch Front areas. It is going to be a gas burning fireplace more than likely. Okay, number 2 on the list. Because of lot restriction sizes, you see a lot of 2 and 3 story houses, whether that's a basement plus 2 stories, or you go in at the main level and you have like a garage and entryway and then 2 more floors above that, or even 3 more floors above that. You don't see a lot of single family homes that are single level living. So I personally love rambler homes that are just 1 story, 1 main level with a basement, but they're not super common with newer homes. Again, I feel like a broken record here, but if you go to places like Sandy, older parts of South Jordan, downtown Salt Lake, you know, those more established neighborhoods where houses were built in the 70s and 80s, you're more likely to find those single level. But new construction, it's really not as common as you would think. And I have clients relocating from Arizona currently, and that was one of the things that they mentioned was, why can't I find a new construction home very easily that is a single level home? Okay, and the number 1 thing that people comment on every time they relocate to Utah and we look at houses is the drywall inside the house. Yes, I'm totally serious. It doesn't matter where the person comes from in the US or outside of it. They always comment because we have like a textured look on our drywall. It is not a smooth finished wall. So people will walk in and be like, why does this look incomplete? Why does this look like somebody scraped something into the drywall? Why isn't it smooth? It's very funny, but it is commented on every single time somebody relocates to Utah. That's the number 1 thing people notice. So if you're thinking about making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. Shoot me a text or give me a call. That is the best way to reach me. Like I said, I help people relocate from all over the place to Utah. I'd love to connect with you and see how I can help you. But as always, make it a great day.